In 1929, the stock market crashed, leading to the Great Depression, one of the most distressing times in American history. Millions lost their jobs, homes, and life savings. Banks collapsed and the economy plummeted. It sucked. In the 1932 election, the Democrats nominated Franklin Delano Roosevelt to run against the Republican candidate, Herbert Hoover. Roosevelt won the election by a sweeping majority in both the popular vote and the Electoral College. Roosevelt proposed the New Deal. This legislation embraced progressive ideas like unemployment insurance, old age insurance, minimum wage regulations, conservation and development of natural resources, and restrictions on child labor. The New Deal focused on the 3 R's: relief, recovery, and reform. The 100 Days Congress supported the New Deal by creating the Civilian Conservation Corps, passing the Federal Emergency Relief Act, creating the Federal Emergency Relief Administration, passing the Federal Securities Act, Tennessee Valley Authority Act, and the GlassSteagall Act. Overall, these proved to be successful in their attempts to jumpstart the economy.
Roosevelt tackled the bank issue through the Glass-Steagall Banking Reform Act, which provided for the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which also insured individual deposits in banks up to $5,000. This was helpful because it allowed people to begin trusting banks again after many closed and left thousands of Americans with nothing. To protect people against investment fraud, Congress passed the Truth in Securities Act, or Federal Securities Act. It required people selling the investments to inform their investors of the risks involved. The Securities and Exchange Commission was created in 1934. It oversaw the stock market. Roosevelt wanted to stimulate the economy through inflation, thus relieving the burdens of debt. He achieved his goal by ordering the Treasury to purchase gold at increasing prices, which angered some sound money critics.
The 100 Days Congress created the Civilian Conservation Corps, which employed about 3 million young men who may have otherwise turned to crime. They fought fires, planted trees, drained swamps, and helped in flood control. The Homeowners Loan Corporation assisted about 1 million needy homes that have trouble paying their mortgages. In addition, Civil Works Administration was designed to provide purely temporary jobs during the winter emergency in 1933. Congress passed the Works Progress Administration in 1935 with the objective of providing employment for useful projects such as the construction of buildings and roads. The National Recovery Administration was designed to help industries, the unemployed, and labor. It allowed laborers to organize and bargain collectively through a representative of their choosing. It was a rousing success at first, but eventually died down due to business people supporting it in public but violating its codes in private. The NRA was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in 1935 because the NRA gave legislative powers to the president and it allowed Congress to control individual businesses, not just interstate commerce.
The United States Housing Authority was designed to lend money to states or communities for low-cost construction of homes and businesses. The Federal Housing Administration, created in 1934, attempted to improve the home building industry. It gave small loans to homeowners for the purpose of improving their homes and buying new ones. The Social Security Act of 1935 cushioned future depressions by providing financial security to the older urban population of the country. Specific categories of retired workers were eligible for regular payments from Washington. Provision was also made for the blind, physically handicapped, and delinquent children. Roosevelt was upset with the Supreme Court because it was filled with ultra-conservatives who were against many of his New Deal policies. He tried to get the membership on the court up to 15, which infuriated many Americans who saw it as a dictator-like move. Some accused the New Deal of being very communist, while others were unhappy with the amount of debt Roosevelt's programs were creating. From 1932 to 1939, the national debt increased from $19 trillion to $40 trillion. In 1937, the economy took another downturn caused by reduced spending in an attempt to keep a balanced budget. Women began to break barriers by holding positions in the federal government, including cabinet positions. Ruth Benedict made strides in the field of anthropology, and Pearl Buck wrote about a Chinese peasant society and won a Nobel Prize in Literature in 1938.
FDR did not banish the Depression, and unemployment persisted until World War II broke. However, he brought the country through one of the worst periods in its history without a bloody revolution. He was always concerned with the forgotten man and helped preserve democracy in a time when it's disappearing in other parts of the world.